What complaints do employees have about their jobs?
Welcome to Good Mythical More.
Okay, there's a Reddit subreddit.
There's a bunch of subreddits. Basically,
Yes,
you know,
there are.
people complain everywhere.
Reddit is full of subreddits.
That's pretty much what Reddit is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and
we've gone through and we've chosen employee complaints from various different places for you to take a look at, react to, give your opinion on, process.
I like gaining insight into what it's like to work at places, especially if I interact with them from the outside. You know, could I be a better patron?
Probably.
Interesting.
Let's see.
Okay, this first one has a photo. It's from Zapmaster3125, who says, courtesy of one of my ushers, these pictures are not mine, but my team is losing their minds having this crap every single time. Wow. Having this crap. Okay. This is the result of an entire theater deciding to throw their crap everywhere, and these are all from different cleans.
So there's multiple pictures.
Oh.
And we're just seeing
We're
one.
just seeing one, yeah.
But we can infer that they all look
like this.
I mean, isn't that what a theater looks like after people leave?
This is insane. A little crazy.
The answer is
we
no.
have a 15-minute turnover time and can maybe spare enough people to have 4 people cleaning this. I've had kids leaving cups of ketchup balanced on top of doors so they fall on the next person who walks through. Last night, some kids ran into a totally different auditorium and hid behind the back row of seats. I've had to tell multiple groups of kids that we will call the police if they don't leave. We haven't had to follow through so far, but I consider it a matter of time. This is the worst. We're gonna have to censor me. This is the worst show I've ever worked. Barbenheimer, the Eras Tour, Moana 2 were all busy, but people were actually engaged in their shows, so it didn't matter. People for Minecraft just don't care. I've had to give out refunds to other moviegoers who had crap dumped on them. This might be a short flash in the pan profit, but it's absolutely destroyed any long-term trust.
So the Minecraft movie, targeted at kids who play Minecraft, saw it as an opportunity to just litter publicly.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I did not see the movie, but there is a moment in which this happens in the movie, right? It's when there's a chicken moment. Chicken jockey.
And what does he do, David?
I have no idea. I don't know. That movie's not for me either.
Oh, like a moment where
there's a moment.
Boys have decided.
Everyone waits for this one moment, and they all say the line with Jack Black together, and then they throw their crap everywhere. And so that's how this happens.
Yeah, so this person didn't get the memo.
Yeah, somebody replied.
And then wrote a novel.
Spice replied, yesterday I, an usher, had to sit with a giant group of boys that were apparently making plans to throw popcorn, and I sat and watched the entire movie, and they were very loud, but I'd say I got lucky. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's widen out a little bit here from the Minecraft.
Sure.
Spillage happens. I think when, you see crap on the floor, you start to think that it's just something that can be done. But we need to up our decency. How often do you take your stuff
all your trash and throw it away?
I take my trash out
every single time.
I take my trash out.
But I will tell you, in my teenage years and college years and probably into my 20s.
You thought it was like a Bojangles?
Yeah, no.
Just leave it at the seat?
And my impression, based on what I saw, is that everyone else my age at that time was doing the same thing. I thought it was part of it.
By the way,
I thought it was just, oh yeah, I'm done with my drink. It wasn't messy. It was just like, it's there and they'll clean this up.
That is what sets,
I don't do that anymore.
One of the things that sets Bojangles apart. When you're done eating at the fast food establishment, you leave your food there and then they come and clean it up for you.
Do they still do that?
They still do that.
This is the first time I'm ever learning of this.
Yes.
That has never occurred during my visits to Bojangles.
Now, you can throw it away yourself, but the place that you throw it away, they have a special closet that they throw everything away into. So yeah, you don't have to throw your stuff away at Bojangles. You don't. You really, really don't.
I guess it was just I got too used to that and I started applying it everywhere.
But and I don't know why they still do it because you don't expect it.
Yeah.
But it is nice, isn't it? They don't bring. Of course, they don't bring.
I haven't eaten inside of Bojangles in a long time.
I eat inside of Bojangles every time I go home. I want the full
I
experience.
eat from Bojangles. Let's do the next one.
Okay, this next one is fake tippers. Why do some writers fake saying they'll tip? This is from Imaginary Onion 3343. I'm wondering why some people fake tipping drivers. They say, I'll tip you when I get inside, but I know that's a lie. Why do that? It's unnecessary and dishonest. You can simply say, thank you for the tip. Trip. Okay. That's it. No pressure. I don't want to judge anyone, but this has happened with several writers now. Whenever I accept a trip, I'm not expecting a tip. Tipping is optional and should come from your experience with the driver. I know I'm a 5-star driver with a clean car, no pets, no smoking, and many writers mention that the ride is nice and smooth. I appreciate the compliments, but if you don't plan to tip, it's better not to bring it up at all. Just be honest with yourself.
This is odd. Now, I will say, I have started saying, basically, as I'm giving the driver 5 stars and tipping, I say I'm doing it because we did an episode of more years ago, and my Uber rating, it was still like 4.75 or something, but that's low. Like that's comparatively to most of the people that I know. And I was like trying to figure out. There's been a few canceled rides. There's been some things that have happened. So I've been like really trying to get my rating up.
What is it now?
So this is part of the answer, is that people saying they're going to tip is to get a good rating in anticipation of that. What I've started doing is
4.76.
hasn't worked.
It's gone up a 0.01.
So it's not helping. Just make tips what they need to be. This is what I've started doing. I will tip while still in the car because I've been one of these people.
And you forget? Mm-hmm. You forget.
Until like the next morning I get up, or no, the next time I try to get a lift. And then it's like, well, I didn't rate.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
It forces you to rate the last person. So it could be 3 weeks later. And then I'm like, well, at that point, I feel okay about not giving a tip, which is not good.
Hold on, is this why? Yes.
So I give reviews before I can use the app again. And so I'm like,
That slows you down.
I might as well just do it right here and tell the person, because I like telling the person. I like giving the feedback. I'm giving you a tip. I'm tipping you up. You did good. Or
But what if it's a
3
really
stars.
bad?
3 stars. You were a little herky-jerky.
Oh, you say
I'm
that's
about
what
to
you
vomit.
say?
I'm about to vomit on the curb.
You would never do
I
a
don't
bad
get-
review while you're in the car.
I don't give constructive criticism, and I've never given a bad review, but I just give tips across the board because
But have you been in a bad ride?
more often than not, but that's just because I'm very opinionated.
But so when
People don't, my thing is that like, if you drive as your mode of income, you need to know how to drive smoothly.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's
What
just
is
it.
that?
You just got to know how to use the gas.
Yes. What is that? I don't understand. And you know almost immediately when you get in the car if
they
it's that
haven't
type
gotten
of driver.
they haven't gotten feedback.
Because
They don't know.
And
it
'cause it's
requires
like,
focus. It requires
God.
it requires trying. And it requires constant effort.
well, but no, because sometimes the people that do the herky jerky are like push down on the gas pedal a little bit and then a little bit again and then a little bit again, and they do that constantly, and that's what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Is like just
They
They might
don't
have
know.
restless legs.
They don't know how to drive.
We don't know. They might have restless legs.
But the point is, you feel too bad to give them bad rating.
We got
and
into
not
one of
tip
those the other
them.
day.
And the cologne
You remember?
doesn't cover things up. It just makes it worse.
Do you remember when we got into one of those the other day?
All the time.
No, specifically the one we got into. Chase, you were in it. Chase and Jenna were in that one. That guy had herky jerky foot.
Yeah, but he was also
HJF.
But he was very aggressive, and then that evened it out for me because he jumped into the carpool
I kinda
lane
liked it.
and he crossed over the double yellow line.
I gotta
You
start
like
doing
the aggression?
Yes.
I got to start doing
'Cause
the tip during. I always do the tip after, and I always
He broke laws
and
in
I
order
do
to
it
get us
high.
where we were
But
going.
they've already rated me. There's something about it. I didn't talk to them. I said the wrong thing. They gave me a 4. I don't know what happened.
Next one.
This is from Taken to Drury from the Taco Bell subreddit. The tale of a customer complaint. A customer who ordered 2 cheesy bean and rice burritos complained to our customer
Good order.
hotline that an employee wouldn't give her 40 sauce packets for 2 tiny ass burritos. Like, come the on, fam. I don't know why the geniuses at Taco Bell haven't figured out that they can sell it in stores if you want to buy some in bulk. And I do hook it up with sauce every time because I'm not stingy, but there are limits, and apparently mine is 40.
So Taco Bell doesn't limit. I mean, it seems like you got to make a rule. Now, charging for every little thing is an extreme.
Can I just say that the CBRB it's a great order from Taco Bell.
The chicken and
Cheesy bean and rice burrito. Because my go-to is just the bean burrito that has some cheese in it and a little bit of sauce. But when you get the CBRB, you get rice as well. You know, it gives a little bit more bulk.
Okay.
I'm just saying, and I will
No
say
protein.
beans and
you know-
cheese.
No, you know what I mean. No meat.
Yeah, and I will say one CBRB will comfortably consume 3 sauce packets from me. So I'll go through 3 because I like it thick, fire sauce.
Yeah, that's
thick,
a lot.
And I'm going along, but
This is just
Not 20
I
per
don't even
burrito.
think this is within the realm of learning anything. This is
Well-
just a person being ridiculous.
I'm learning that the employees at Taco Bell are kind of pissed because there's a comment from another one that says, when I see ridiculous sauce numbers, I just give them a raw dog fistful.
yeah.
And then they say later too. I just figured if we're censoring things that I'm saying, I might as well say them all, you know?
Right, because we can't see your face, so we don't have to put the GMM
Yeah.
logo over
Yep.
your face.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just,
Don't do that anymore.
beep it yourself.
Oh,
Okay, I'll
like
try
to-
that.
I'd like
I'll try
to,
a self-censoring.
I'd like to hear that.
Shall we move on to Home Depot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want to
Okay,
learn
Shallot 438. Customers who bring their wild
big.
children into the store. Recently, I noticed a customer in electrical. I work in receiving with his young children. He was on the phone, not paying attention to them at all. First, they were using the H cart as a jungle gym, swinging off the bars and sitting on top as the other pushed it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I intervened and told them not to do that. Dad was still oblivious, then went back to receiving, and not even a minute later, they were playing with the safety gates. One of them even had their head inside it, while the other was jerking it around. Dad's still not paying attention. Once again, had to correct them before they got seriously injured or killed. Why do we have to act as babysitters for these idiot parents?
Here's the thing, employee. I think you might need to look introspectively because there's a certain level of care that you can't sustain.
Yeah.
And when it involves being triggered by other kids that you don't know and parents that you don't know, you're just setting yourself up for a shorter life because they're gonna, I mean, as long as they're not doing something that is gonna drive work for you that you don't want to do, I think just let them do it.
Let them.
Let them freaking bust their heads open or die in the store. They're not your kids. Let them die.
Now you might have to clean
That's my
that. You
update.
might have to clean that up.
Yep. And you may have to clean.
If the kid dies, you may have to clean it up.
I think the
But I
parents should
usually
clean it
You
up.
may
think
have
that-
to receive them
But I
in
think
receiving.
I think that there are other people that come in and do that. I don't think if you're a store cleaner, you have to clean.
I
that.
think you can say this is not in my job description to clean up like kid spatter. If it's the actual dead kid.
I agree with you. I to add to that, I thought maybe where you were going with this, and it is somewhat related, and that is, the way that you judge parenting before you have a child, and then you find yourself in it, and then you're just like, I just can't do this. I can barely hang on.
Right.
And
yeah, it's not a good. It's
and-
not worth it.
and then you're just kind of like, yep, I've been there, and you just kind of give like a, just give an understanding smile. I'm not saying be a neglectful parent. I'm just saying
Getting
that
upset about.
at least he didn't leave him in a car.
What you're saying is true.
You know what I'm saying? They got in the store.
Yeah.
It's let them, not leave them.
That's right.
Getting upset about something that you witness and disagree with, you got to be careful in terms of self-care. That's really the point I'm making, is that you can't, if you got upset about everything that you saw in the world that you disagreed with that didn't have a direct impact on you, it's going to kill you.
Caring kills.
Caring kills.
Caring is great. Karen kills.
I've got a very recent related thing. Okay, would you guys judge my parenting real quick? Because I
Yeah.
felt judged in this moment.
Okay, great.
There's this horror store nearby us. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's down the street. They have all kinds of horror paraphernalia. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
My 4-year-old girl loves this stuff. She loves it. So we took her in there, and she's looking around, and there's bloody, gutty stuff. She saw Jaws and said, "That's Jaws." And she saw Freddy Krueger, and she had questions about stuff. And I saw the employees looking at us, like really judging, and I saw other customers looking at us like, "Why do you have a little kid in here?" But
You're raising her right.
right?
If she's not scared of it,
This is how
like,
Rhett
this is
was
what
raised.
she's interested in. Yeah, I sat down at probably age 6 and watched Hellraiser with my mom.
There's the scene from Friday the 13th where the guy gets the arrow through his neck, you know, and like there was a 3D model of that, and it's bloody and gory, and she's like, "He looks angry."
Yeah, it's just a personality thing. And you would think of all people, the people who work at the Halloween store would know this.
So is mom also into these movies?
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a family outing.
Okay. All right. So this is a family thing.
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, that's beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
Start them young.
I'll say one thing I've learned from the Home Depot post is that I guess in order to get someone to come to you for help, you gotta be a kid who's almost gonna kill yourself.
Yeah, right.
So
Right.
I'll try and employ that next
That's
time.
how it works.
I can never get somebody to help me at Home Depot. One more?
One more.
Yeah.
Starbucks secret menu from Dr. Pepper Enjoyer. Why do customers come up and order TikTok drinks by the name someone gave the obnoxious concoction with 20 plus mods and act like we know WTF? It's supposed to be no GF. I don't know what a sherbet sunset lemonade is. An actual drink someone asked me for.
Yeah. And I would find this annoying.
Yeah. And that directly impacts your job. I think you can get riled up over this.
I also think there should be a limit. Like there's a
no looking
limit
the
to the
other way.
number. There should be a limit to the number of sauces you can get at Taco Bell. There should be a limit to the number of mods. And I just think there needs to be a DIY section at some point. You know what I mean? I
Like
just
a
don't
buffet.
think people just
Like a
shouldn't
coffee
get
buffet.
everything they want. It's not good for
Coffee
us.
buffet. I think that's a good idea. I think we should invent a coffee buffet.
Just put the syrups out for people. No,
Yeah.
people will take
It's
them.
like a salsa bar.
Yeah. But also like, you know, you have an iced coffee dispenser and a steamed milk dispenser and
People would abuse that and break it.
And I'm also just getting rid of a bunch of jobs.
People
Me
would
and
people
AI.
would abuse it. They would abuse it. I just think
There's an art to making these things, apparently.
if you get to a certain number of mods, a little beeper should start going off. And then it should get faster and faster and faster, and then you get one more and that's it.
Why not just make it a countdown?
That would maybe better. Join the Mythical Society now to watch over 500 hours of exclusive content and behind-the-scenes moments you can't see anywhere else.
I mean, every time I talk to him, it's like he can see through my soul. Like I don't know, and I forget everything I'm gonna say, and I'm like, well, blah, blah, blah.